where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. Today we're reviewing the new Studio Series 103 Rhinox from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. The final maximal or second to final maximal, depending on how you're completing your set of maximals from the Transformers Rise of the Beasts movie, or technically, I guess, third to final, because still no word on if we're getting an Ape Link soon or not, which fingers crossed that we are getting an Ape Link, because I still want an Ape Link figure. Despite what happened to him in the movie, I won't spoil it for you in case you haven't seen it yet. Putting Ape Link, a character like that, in a live action movie is a really cool pull of a deep cut character. And a BotCon original character, which is also really cool. Anyway, more on that later if we get an Ape Link toy. Here is the new Studio Series Rhinox, and I gotta say, I'm so glad I was patient and held out for the announcement of this figure when they finally showed what this figure was going to look like compared to the mainline version, because the mainline version looks nothing like Rhinox in the movie. I transform into a Rhino? Yes. Does the Rhino look screen accurate? No. Neither does the robot mode. Not even close on either side, aside from the fact that he still transforms into a Rhino. That's really the only similarity. Still a cool figure, though. Still a cool figure. We probably won't end up reviewing it here, but that doesn't change the fact that it was still a cool figure. This one just happens to be much better, especially if you're judging by the metric of screen accuracy, which is the main metric I judge figures by anyway. So, by that means, this figure is significantly better. So anyway, there he is. You've got some artwork of him in his rhinoceros mode there on the front on the screen grab. You got a close-up of him in rhinoceros mode on that side. We did get to see his robot mode artwork right there, so I'm glad they still did his robot mode, because we didn't get robot mode for Airazor, which is kind of a shame, because I would like to know what at least they thought her robot mode was going to look like based off of the toys. It could be anything, because none of the bird modes are accurate on either movie toy for Airazor. So, I mean, she transforms into a bird, but that's really the only similarity, because neither figure is screen accurate in my opinion. On the back, you've got some pictures of robot mode and Rhino mode. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And of course, we have the Studio Series backdrop here. Looks like we've got some of those old Inca temple ruins there. And you can display your Studio Series Rhinox on that backdrop display. So you can see him there on that. And that's pretty much it for him on the backdrop. And real quick before we get to the figure, just something funny to point out. And honestly, I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for them pointing this out on social media, because I don't usually check or use the instructions on these. It says Revenge of the Fallen, not Rise of the Beasts. And that's really funny. That's such a weird error. And it's a very consistent error. I don't know if anybody has gotten any appropriately labeled, but I have seen a lot of posts about people getting them and their instruction booklet saying Revenge of the Fallen. So, yeah, that's pretty hilarious, I think. I just thought I wanted to touch on that real quick. And here is Rhinox right out of the packaging, and overall he looks really good. He's actually very screen accurate. As it turns out, the Studio Series Cheetor was also very screen accurate. In case you haven't seen the movie, the Studio Series Cheetor is very screen accurate, looks really good compared to the toy. I feel the same way about Rhinox, especially the completed version versus some of the promotional images we saw where he had a lot more browns to him than the final product does, because in the movie he doesn't have as many browns like the earlier versions, the earlier mock-ups of the Studio Series toy did. So I'm glad he's more color accurate as well as physically moldly accurate. I love the two horns here above his head. I just like the idea that the horns on the rhinoceros mode just come up here to over his shoulders. But what's also cool about him is they're symmetrical. No, the horns in his rhinoceros mode are not the same size. So I like how he's got these two horns that look like rhinoceros horns over his shoulders, but are the same size versus asymmetrical. I do like that. I think that's a good feature. Face sculpt looks pretty good, relatively screen accurate. I mean, we didn't see too much of Rhinox in his robot mode on screen. I mean, we got to see him in action. It was awesome. The hammer, really great, by the way. Wish it had the bright green bits, though, like in the movie. That's really my only complaint about the hammers. You had these really cool bright green crystal-looking bits on the hammer. But other than that, like, he does look great. Now, real quick, for comparison, here he is next to Cheetor, so you can see him next to the Voyager class Cheetor. And seeing the spear, yeah, the spear was cool too. Here he is next to Airazor in robot mode, although we never got to see her in robot mode in the movie. It's really my only complaint about Airazor. I really liked everything else about her. Michelle Yeoh's portrayal of the character was good. Just a shame that she never transformed, not even once. That's really my only complaint about that character in that movie. And for now, until we get to Studio Series 1, I'm still holding on to it because it's still a pretty decent figure. Really, it's the best of the mainline figures, I think. Here he is next to Optimus Primal. So you can see them side by side. And that's pretty much it for comparisons. I only really wanted to compare him next to the Maximals for today. He has very articulated head, is on a ball joint, although albeit a stiff one. Ooh, nice and stiff there. Not a whole lot of wiggle room on that, so to speak. The shoulder panel articulates. The shoulder goes fully in and out all the way around because that's all one piece right there. Lower bicep joint just above the elbow there. Single jointed elbow. Wrist swivel, and that's pretty much it for the wrist articulation. Waist, hips, single jointed knees, but you do have this upper joint due to transformation as well, but truly it's supposed to be one knee joint because that's actually where the knee is. Ankle joints going up and down and side to side, and that's pretty much it for articulation. You can take his hammer here and you can store it on his back while he's in robot mode and kind of have it going off to the side here. I mean, it looks kind of wonky like that, but it does look cool if you have the handle going over the shoulder while he's in robot mode. Transformation is not too terribly difficult. What we're going to do is we're going to untab this back section right here. We're going to untab this whole back section right here. We're going to bring out the rhino head and all of that good stuff. We're going to fold in the over-the-shoulder horns from his robot mode inward, and we're pretty much going to be leaving that head where it is. We're also going to be opening up these little gut panels right here so we can pull down this chest section, and that's going to come down like so. And then for the arms, we're going to rotate these forward, pull out these shoulder bits, and then this is going to fit into that whole socket right there. So just bring all that down. I gotta take a better look. Sorry about the angle on that. So I make sure it fits properly. And then it's hard to see, but that's like all one smooth piece now. And then you've got the arm in position for where it needs to be in his Rhino mode. For the rest of the arm transformation, we're going to pull open that panel right there. We're going to rotate the fist all the way around like so. Rotate this in, close that, and just rotate that forward. And that's one front leg done. We'll go ahead and do the other one just like this side. So bring that all the way down, push that into place, push that into place, rotate that, pull that arm panel all the way off if you must, but don't feel as though you have to, and don't feel as though you broke it if you do. Close that panel, rotate that leg forward, and there are the front legs all done. Let's go ahead and do the head. Open this top section, fold out, come on, the horn, close that up, and on the neck, we're going to, sometimes it gets, there you go, stuck in there. Pull that neck section out, and that is going to tab in over the face. And that gives you full clearance on the head there. That's pretty much the front of the rhinoceros mode, just about all the way done. Next, we're going to fold this down a little bit, fold these in. They're going to tab into these little sections right here, these little grooves, and then you're going to fold this chest section. And yeah, he's a little big for a rhino. His primordial pouch just hangs a little low, okay? Let's just give the guy a break. He's been living in Peru for a few thousand years. He's been eating a lot of plantains and a lot of other really good food. So, you know, I'm not going to hold it against him, all right? Maximals still kick butt even when they're in this shape, if you don't know. Next, we're going to bring this back panel down, tab the thighs into this right here, and there's really not a whole lot we're going to be doing with the legs. We're just going to, on that knee joint, bring them forward. We're not really going to be doing anything else to the legs. Bring that tail down, and there you have Rhinox in his rhinoceros mode. I mean, his rhinoceros mode looks pretty decent, although overall, especially from the front, the midsection's a little weird. I kind of wish that the rhino legs were a bit more different from his robot mode legs, but again, it's not a huge deal. It's not the end of the world. It's just he has this very awesome involved transformation all up here in the upper part of the torso, and then I guess they were like, well, we got to finish the rest of it. Just arch the legs to where it looks like he's standing on the high legs. Just bend the knee forward a little too far, and it looks fine. And that's fine, I guess. I don't remember too much about these little detailed bits from the movie to make a judgment call right this second as to how accurate or inaccurate this is. I mean, obviously this isn't super totally accurate, especially with his, you know, primordial pouch hanging low here, but it's still a very cool Rhinox. He still has decent articulation. Head can go up and down. Can't really turn it in any direction. The jaw opens and closes, which is really cool. It'd be even cooler if it had some of that inner mouth detail, since we know his mouth opens and it's very circular on the inside, and then the tongue comes out, which is kind of weird looking, but also really kind of cool on it. So there's that. Forward and back a little bit. That's pretty much as far as you go with the shoulders there. You can change it to where you have a knee joint for that front leg if you want to face the legs like so. That is totally something you can do with this. The rear legs pretty much go forward and back. They don't really spread out because they're pegged down right here. The tail can go up and down. So he definitely has a lot more articulation in robot mode than he does his beast mode. It's all right. I don't think the beast mode is super spectacular. It's still, in my opinion, better than the essential brick the mainline Rhinox is, because that figure just kind of comes together, and I think the legs are all locked into place, and it just looks very rectangular and one solid piece. So definitely still better, but this piece still could have been, I think, a little bit better. I feel as though maybe if they had just waited a little bit longer, yes, it would have driven us crazy. Yes, we probably would have ended up buying the mainline Rhinox to hold us over until the good one came out, but we probably would have gotten a better Rhinox out of it as a result. Not that this was a bad one. I'm just saying things could have just been a little bit better. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments about this Rhinox if you like it or if you like the other version more. Real quick for comparison, here is the new Rhinox next to Cheetor once again, so you can see them side by side. And here he is next to Air Razor, so you can see them side by side. And she still looks good in bird mode, just again, not super screen accurate as it turns out. I mean, yeah, she's still a bird, but that's really the only thing that was the same. It is what it is. Anyway, here he is next to Optimus Primal next, or at least the mainline Optimus Primal. Really excited to see him next to the upcoming leader class. And again, overall, not a bad figure, not super amazing, not super screen accurate in his Rhino mode, at least I don't think so, not totally at least. It's definitely much better, much further, and much more screen accurate than the mainline Rhinox, but some things I feel could have been engineered just a little bit better. Robot mode I think looks pretty great. It's just the beast mode, I wish they put a little bit more effort into the beast mode, which doing a Rhinox figure is tough. The best Rhinox figure to this day is still the Thrilling 30s one. They did a modern update Rhinox for Kingdom, and it was not as good. Nowhere near as good, in my opinion. And all of the Rhinox figures have been a little wonky here or there, articulation-wise, or kibble-wise in Rhino mode especially. So Rhinox has always kind of had a tough break when it comes to getting a beast mode with good articulation and pieces hanging off in weird spots or lack thereof. So all of that considered, this is still a very good Rhinox figure. Just could have been a little bit better. I think if they had waited and worked on him after the movie, after the final thing, and given it a little bit more time to engineer things a little differently, I think we would have gotten a better figure out of it, but we still got a good figure in my opinion. Stay tuned for more Transformers reviews. Stay tuned for more Rise of the Beasts reviews. We still got to do the new Primal as soon as it comes out, and like I said, hopefully Ape Link isn't far behind. Like and subscribe, follow us on social media for more content, more reviews, and check out our sister website, cooltoyreview.com, for all kinds of awesome toy news, videos, and more, and subscribe to the Cool Toy Review YouTube channel for all of that video content over there. If you like Star Wars content, check out rebelscum.com, the world's largest and oldest Star Wars fan website, not owned by Disney, and like and subscribe to the rebelscum.com YouTube channel for all kinds of awesome Star Wars related video toy content. And if you're looking for some awesome Transformers merch, come by our physical location inside Order 66 Multiverse in the shops at Willowbend Mall in Plano, Texas, which also houses Order 66 Toys, the nation's official collectible Star Wars toy store. And in case you're not local, Order 66 goes live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Order 66 Facebook page, and they ship all around the world. Check out Collector's Oracle, our newest archival website where you can archive all kinds of awesome currently Star Wars toys in your collection, but there's more stuff to follow at some point in the near future, and it's entirely free. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man.